the third example on moment area method. Now, so far we've dealt with several examples on moment area method, which was under cantilever beam. So this same example, we still have it under cantilever beam. We said we have different scenarios for our slope and deflection when it comes to cantilever beam using moment area method. So we've done for the first two. The first one was a cantilever beam loaded with a point load at the free end. The second one was a cantilever beam loaded with a point load at the free end and at the mid span. Now, say you have this cantilever beam loaded with a UDL throughout the span, meaning the entire span, and also loaded with a point load at the free end. The question says that using moment area method, calculate the slope and deflection at the free end, right? In this case, you calculating the slope and deflection at the free end. How do you go about it? Observe that you have two loads, right? Meaning you are going to draw the bending moment diagram, the M by EI diagram due to this UDL, and you are going to draw the M by EI diagram due to this point load. But let's recall our steps. Our steps is what? What's our first step? Our first step is to make the relationship between the tangent of this point on the elastic curve, right? And we already know that the slope at A is equals to 0, and the deflection at A is equals to what? 0. So meaning the relationship between our tangent on the elastic curve, this is how my beam will deflect. My beam is going to deflect in this nature. This is the tangent at A, right? Let's draw the tangent at B. Drawing the tangent at B, this is what you have. This is the tangent at B. An angle has been formed here between the tangent of A and the tangent of B. An angle has been formed called that angle theta B slash A, right? Mathematically, what theta B slash A means is that theta B minus theta A. Substitute the value of theta A, meaning theta B slash A is equals to theta B minus 0. Why is it 0? Slope at A equals to 0. Therefore, theta B slash A is equals to theta B. So what this means is that you are going to consider the bending moment between point A to point B, meaning you are going to get the area of bending moment between point A to point B so as to know the slope at B. Now let's draw our bending moment diagram, our M by EI diagram, right? Drawing your M by EI diagram, your first M by EI diagram is due to this UDL, while the second one is due to this what? Point load. So due to the UDL, your M by EI diagram, due to the UDL, this will be the nature of your bending moment, right? This is due to UDL. Due to point load, this is the nature of your bending moment, right? Meaning, we need to know the value. This is point A, this is point B, this is point A, and this is point B. By M by EI diagram, what M by EI diagram means is that we want to know the value of moment at each point on our beam. How many points do we have here? We have 2 points. We have point A and point B. So due to UDL, due to this UDL, the M by EI diagram, we want to know the value of moment at B and want to know the value of moment at A. Similarly, due to point load, we want to know the value of moment at B and the value of moment at A. So how do you get this value of moment? Bending moment calculation, right? By bending moment calculation, due to UDL at B, bending moment equals to what? 0. The next point is what? At A. What's the value of bending moment? Bending moment is equals to 20 times 7. All into bracket 1 over 2 times 7. Bending moment, first time distance. By the time you convert this UDL to a point load, you have, this is 5 times 7 multiplied by 1 over 2 times 7. So this will give us what? 35 times 3.5, which is equals to 122.5 kilonewton meter, all divided by EI. So let's substitute the value of our moment. At B, I have 0. At A, what's the value of my moment? 122.5 122.5 kilonewton meter, all divided by EI. Any question on that? No question. Now, due for point load, bending moment for point load at B, what's the value of bending moment? Bending moment is equals to what? 0. At A, what's the value of bending moment? Bending moment is equals to 20 times 7, and this gives us what? 140 kilonewton meter, all divided by EI. So what do I have here? 140 kilonewton meter, all divided by EI. Now imagine that you have point C. Let's say you have point C, and the question says that calculate the value of slope and deflection at point C. Meaning you are going to know the moment at point C for UDL, and you are going to know the moment at point C for point load. Are you getting the question? This question now says that calculate the slope and deflection at the free end, right? What if the question says that calculate the slope and deflection at the midspan, say point C? What does it mean? It means you are going to know the value of movement at point C due to UDL, just like the one we did the other time. The value of movement at point C due to UDL, and the value of movement at point C due to what? Point load. And you are going to relate it to the previous example, just like the previous example that we did. So that's how it works. But for this question, the question was very easy, or was very straightforward, saying calculate the value of slope and deflection at the free end. But if it is calculate the value of slope and deflection at point C, just apply the previous idea, you still get your answer. So in essence, what this means is that to get the slope at B, it becomes the slope at B due to UDL plus the slope at B due to point load. Similarly, the deflection at B becomes the deflection at B due to UDL plus the deflection at B due to point load. That's why we are having two bending moment diagram. So moving on, let's solve this. For the slope at B, for my UDL, say this is figure 1 and say this is figure 2. So let's solve for UDL. What's the formula of this shape? 1 over 3 base times height. Substitute values. What do you have? This is the slope at B due to UDL. So that's 1 over 3 times 7 times the intensity. That's 122.5 over EI. What do you have? What's the answer? .83 over EI. This is for UDL. Now for point load, what's the area of this shape? 1 over 2 base times height. So this becomes 1 over 2 multiplied by, what's the base? That's 7. Right? Multiplied by the height. What's the height? 140 over EI. So what's the answer to this? 490 kilonewton meter over EI. Therefore, for this system of loading, the slope at B becomes the summation of the slope at UDL for B plus that of the point load. So that becomes 285.83 over EI plus 490 over EI. The summation of this gives you what? 775.83 over EI kilonewton meter. So this is the slope at B. And if you are given the value of EI, substitute. By the time you substitute, express your answer in radian. This is for slope at B, for this type of load, or for this type of beam loaded in this manner. Now let's solve for the deflection. For your deflection, what's the difference between slope and deflection? Centroid with respect to that point. Meaning these two values remain the same. It remains the same. Now let's solve for the centroid. Before solving for the centroid, the deflection at B, what will be the formula? area times centroid due to UDL, right, plus area times centroid due to point load. Area times centroid due to UDL plus area times centroid due to what? Point load. And we've gotten the area. Area of our UDL is equals to what? What's the area of our UDL? 285.83 over EI. What's the area of our point load? 490 over EI. So let's solve for the centroid of this UDL and the centroid of this point load. Solving for the centroid of our UDL. Solving for the centroid of this UDL. By formula, what's the centroid of this UDL? For this shape, this will be your centroid. Your centroid, say this is x1, say this is x2. What part are you considering? Is it s1 or x2? Why is it x1? Because you want to know the deflection with respect to this point. So check the table that I gave you guys. What's the formula for centroid for x1? 3b over 4. Similarly, check for this type of shape for point load. That's what? 2b over 3. So let's solve for the centroid of UDL. 3b over 4. Substitute the value of b. That's 3 times 7. 3 times 7 over 4. What's the answer? 5.25 meter. 5.25 meter. Let's solve for the centroid for point load. For point load, what's the formula? That's 2b over 3. Substitute. This becomes 2 times 7 over 3. This gives us what? 4.67 meter. Therefore, the deflection at B, therefore, the deflection at B is equals to, substitute values. What do you have? 285.83 over EI multiplied by what? Multiplied by 5.25 plus 490 over EI multiplied by 4.67. Get the product of this. For this first one, what's the product? 1500.61 1500.61 over EI plus, what's the product of this? 2288.3 over EI. And what do we have? 3788.91 over EI. This is kilonewton meter. Now take EI. Let's assume a value of EI. EI is given from the question. From the question, EI is given as 18,000 kilonewton meter square. From the question, EI is given to be 18,000 kilonewton meter square. EI, what's the value of EI? 18,000 kilonewton meter square. What's the slope at B? What's the slope at B? 37. Slope at B? 775.83 kilonewton meter over EI. What's the deflection at B? 3788.91 over EI. This is kilonewton meter. Now let's substitute the value of EI. Substituting the value of EI, slope at B becomes 775.83 times 10 raised to the power of 3, all divided by 18,000 times 10 raised to the power of 3. This cancel out. What's the answer? 0.043 radians. Right? Now, for deflection at B, that will be 3788.91 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of 3, or divided by 18,000 times 10 raised to the power of 3. What's the answer to this? 0.210505 meter. Converting this to mm, multiply by what? 1000. So this will give us what? 210.5 mm. Any questions so far? So this is how you solve questions. This is how you solve question on cantilever beam. So we've dealt with 3 cases for cantilever beam, right? Now imagine this question says that calculate the slope and deflection at T. How do you go about it? Meaning the first thing you need to know the value of moment at C for UDL. You also need to know the value of moment at C for point load, right? Then by the time you know that, you then relate C to A, meaning you are interested in the area, you are interested in the shape between point A to C. So you are going to get the area of that shape for UDL and point load. Sum your answer. That's for your what? Slope. For your deflection, the area that you've gotten multiply by the centroid. So that's how it works. So any questions so far? So the next example will be on simply supported beam. The next example will be on simply supported beam. The next example will be on simply supported beam. Simply supported beam using moment area method. No, we've not done that. Not done that. And also, this value of slope and deflection that we've gotten, we have different methods that you can use to solve it. I believe you know that. We have double integration method, Macaulay's method, a lot of method. So that was all. Any question before I move to the next example? So this is how you solve question on cantilever beam for different cases. We've solved for case 1, case 2, and case 3. If you find this video helpful, do it to hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video.